Welcome to this first module of our Tech Place training. My name is Alison, and this is Sandra. And I'd also like to introduce Elisa, who you'll see in some of the other modules in this series. We're going to try and help you understand some trending tech terms and topics which we believe are important to cities. We hope that this will enable you to do your job better.
Some of us may feel a bit uncomfortable with constant change, and some might even believe that tech is a bit of a necessary evil. Whatever our personal views and beliefs might be, there is no doubt that tech is here to stay. Through this training, we want to help you to understand a bit more about the potential it offers to cities.
We'll start with a few health warnings about the constantly changing tech lexicon, and then provide what we hope are clear definitions for 8 tech terms we believe are important to Europe's cities. PwC call them the Essential 8. We'll include some examples of how these might be used in cities and finish by sharing some online resources for you to explore.
The lexicon of tech is constantly changing, so even for techies, it's impossible to keep up with the pace of change. The 8 essential terms we'll guide you through are relevant to cities on the date this video is being recorded. These may be different by the end of the year. So, we would encourage you to focus on the concept and use cases as much as the definition themselves.
The key thing is to try and embrace this constant change and the transformative potential it brings for our cities. We can't all be tech gurus, but we can all be open-minded. For each term, we will start by showing a written definition. We'll then aim to explain how the concept might be used in a local city context.
Let's start with something which is put to good use in lots of EU cities: Internet of Things, or IoT. This refers to a network of physical devices that are fitted with chips or sensors that collect and communicate data. The term IoT encompasses everything connected to the Internet, but it's increasingly being used to define objects that talk to each other because they are connected together, from simple sensor to smartphones and wearables. IoT is used across many smart city functions, from smart bins, which automatically notify waste management services when they need to be emptied, to smart grids that help balance energy generation, supply, and demand, and smart kiosks, which provide basic city services across multiple communities.
Next, let's look at 3D printing. It can take a bit of time to get your head around, but its potential is incredible. 3D printing uses a special printer that can print solid, tangible shapes and products. Many believe that 3D printing is the future of construction, and therefore a central technology for the future of cities. There are already examples of houses being built using a 3D printer. 3D printing also contributes to sustainability by using the exact amount of materials and therefore reducing waste. During a recent visit to Espoo in Finland, we heard about 3D printed food, including chocolate. And during the pandemic, the Blue Lab in Piraeus in Greece printed plastic face masks using 3D printers.
Okay, now the next one can be a bit tricky to explain, mostly because it's a bit mind-blowing, or maybe it's just me, huh? But basically, artificial intelligence, AI, is the simulation of human intelligent processes by machines, especially computer systems. You don't really need to understand how it works. I know I don't. But AI is a key transformational technology and sits behind a lot of the transitions we are seeing at the moment. It's already helping drones fly, robots act, and electric power flow in our cities. It helps machines maintain themselves, predicts needs, and can even send in a robot to carry out repair work.
Now we'll look at one that hopefully you might be a bit more familiar with, especially if you enjoy a bit of gaming. Virtual reality, or VR, which basically creates an artificial environment and enables the user to accept it as a real environment. This is the one you use a headset for. Cities use it extensively for tourism and promotion.
Moving on and stretching the brain a little more, we are increasingly hearing about augmented reality. This creates an enhanced version of the real physical world and is often delivered via a smartphone. This one really blurs the line between the virtual or digital world and the real world. There are lots of ways it can be used in cities, one of the most common being in tourism again. But maybe we could also imagine a world where people can navigate their way through a city using a route which minimizes exposure to pollution or avoids traffic congestion.
Okay, time to take a breath. The next one is pretty abstract, but also quite important when it comes to enhancing trust, transparency, and accountability in city government. As so many people are concerned about how tech affects these issues, we thought blockchain should be included here. In short, it's an alternative system for keeping records and storing transactions. Information is held on a decentralized ledger, which means it's maintained by a network of participants rather than being held on a single central server. Importantly, no one is in charge. In cities, there are lots and lots of uses, mostly around coordinating processes across lots of different stakeholders. Some of these will be picked up in a digital governance module. Let's just park blockchain until then. Are you still with us? I hope so.
Almost there. Just a couple more terms we wanted to share. The next two are hopefully a bit easier to understand. Firstly, robots, which are automated machines that can execute specific tasks with little or no human intervention and with speed and precision. Robots are commonly used for deliveries across cities, and many believe there is potential to reduce traffic congestion and air pollution through increased use of robots for last-mile delivery. Robots can drive a vehicle, water or build things, clean our streets, respond to emergencies, and offer basic medical support to vulnerable people. They don't always get it right, of course.
And last but not least, a few words about drones, which are basically flying robots that can be controlled remotely or fly autonomously. Drones are commonly used to monitor the environment, construction works, traffic or crowds, or even emergency situations. They are often fitted with sensors and high-quality cameras which can transmit images or video live and provide a bird's-eye view of city life. Woof! There was a lot of information there, and I hope we've succeeded in busting a few myths.
Of course, we know some of you will remain skeptical or even worried about what the future holds. Anything innovative and new comes with risks, and we need to work hard to mitigate some of those. But there can be no doubt about the extent to which some of the technologies have potential to transform city life.
So to find out more, have a look at the slides which accompany this training module. There you will find a bit more information, along with some flashcards, designed to help you think about how some of these technologies might be used in your cities. You might also want to check out the TechPlace glossary of terms, and I would encourage you to book a meeting with your tech teams to see how tech and digital tools are being used in your department.
Finally, don't forget to tune in to the other 5 modules in this series, which explore how digital affects cities in terms of environment, society, governance, and local economies, and introduce the concept of agile city leadership.
But that's it for today. Thanks for watching.